you breathe purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Welcome in, Hoist the Colors on a Friday, heading into a busy sports weekend already underway at the Masters' second day of action there. ECU going to Charlotte. 3-game series set throughout the first pitch tonight at Truist Field, the home of the Charlotte Knights, AAA affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. That's a 6 o'clock first pitch. You can hear it here on 94.3 The Game. We'll preview that series. We'll also dive into a little bit of Pirates in Major League Baseball, get an update on that. Former Pirate got his first win in the season last night, so we'll do that across the next hour. We can talk NHL, NBA, anything you guys want to do. As always on a Friday show, we'll jump all over the place, have some fun. In studio today, we've got Bobby Harward, brought to you by Basil's. Bobby, welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me as always. Enjoy having our free-for-all Fridays. Always a good time. Love when the audience can kind of direct the show and send in some questions or comments or whatever that get us off on a tangent or a topic.
No doubt. To do that, I have to pull up the actual feed, which I still have issues getting the YouTube in this very seat, but for whatever reason, I've got it on my phone. What is up, Philip Pilkington? He's producing today. I know you are watching the Masters as well, Philip, so you're going to be able to continue to multitask.
What was that noise?
There was a box handle that just fell down, so we got a ghost in here.
All right. Dang. Didn't know the station was haunted. Breaking news, station is haunted. No, I'm just kidding. I'm good. I put the Masters away just so I wasn't too distracted with it being a free-for-all Friday. So I'm excited for today, and then I'm excited to hop in my car and make the trip because Igo and I are making the trip down to Truist Field tonight to watch the Pirates take on the 49ers.
Yeah, and so my brother and I are going, and we're going to the Disturbed 25th anniversary concert of their initial debut album on Saturday night. So I was like, we'll just cover the game. And I am going to tonight's game. Now, there was some rain in the forecast, but I know you got some family in Charlotte, Philip. Sounds like as of now, things should be on as planned for Truist Field tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like they were supposed to kind of come in middle of the night and settle in. I think it moved out a little quicker than they had initially anticipated. So obviously we haven't heard anything good nor bad so far here at 12 o'clock. But it looks like there's a small chance for maybe some pop-up showers hour or two before first pitch. But, again, I don't think it'd be anything, hopefully, knock on wood, that would wash it out. The one question I do have for you, Igo, as it relates to your Disturbed concert,
Yep.
If, God forbid, there would be some weather tomorrow night that would, move it up or something, can we get Coach O a ticket to the Disturbed concert? What would Coach O think of listening to Down with the Sickness?
I don't think Coach O would thrive in that environment. I don't know. But I would pay to see – I would pay for his ticket just to see his reaction. How about that?
There you go.
That'll be in the Spectrum Center, home of the Charlotte Hornets, so I am excited about that. Bobby, you get down with anything Disturbed?
I don't get down with Disturbed. You know, I've never been a huge heavy rock person.
It's a great workout playlist if you're trying to pump some iron.
I could see that. I mean, that makes sense. There's a few, pump-up songs that I would listen to, but for the most part, dude, I get 90s country, today's country. I'm a big country music person, so that's normally what's on my playlist. Working out, I'll switch it up working out. But honestly, I just put on I work out in the morning in our garage, and we have a TV in there, so I just put on a game from the night before or a YouTube video or something like that and just watch that.
Not to take this conversation in a totally different tangent, but I've been trying the cold showers.
Yeah?
I don't know if I can do it, man. I've been trying 30 seconds to 45 seconds to start off my shower, and it's been brutal. So
Dude,
I don't know how many minutes you've gotten up to now.
It gets better. So I'm at 3 minutes, and so I've been at 3 minutes probably for about a week and a half now. But I'm honestly at the point, so normally I have to shave my head. I use a razor in the shower to shave my head, and when I don't have to shave, I'll take my whole shower in cold water. But so it gets better and better. But when I have to shave, obviously, your skin and stuff when it gets cold and goosebumps. I don't want to try to mess with shaving my head with the razor.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So I understand head, but I have noticed, like, if I work out and I need to take a cold shower, the best thing to get it off mind, obviously this time of year I'm still growing the full beard, but I still, shave my neck. But if I'm at the part of the year where I'm just doing the goatee, it will take your mind off the fact that it's cold if you're trying to, like, shave your face, though. And obviously that I don't think is as big of a deal under cold water shaving your head. So I go, since you don't usually have any facial hair, that's what you could do. Kill 30 seconds shaving your face.
The other thing, I'll put on music, to Philip's point. Put on Shania Twain and blast some Shania Twain.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, dude. That gets me hype.
I think, I struggle to breathe, like control my breathing, because it just like hits me so hard. So that's the biggest thing I've had to get over is like how to control my breathing when you first get submerged.
That's an Eastern North Carolina problem, man. When you grow up in the western half of the state, you go like we used to go swimming in all like these waterfalls up in the mountains. We'd take day trips, and that water is frigid cold. You get used to that, you can shower in anything.
Dude, I bet that would be so fun.
Oh, the water's so clean, man. It's like, I mean, if something goes in your mouth, trust me, you're not worried about like what did I just drink? Like, oh man, it's so good. Like when you go up to, you guys have heard of like sliding rock, where it's like it's a water slide, but it's a rock that you're sliding down. It's naturally made. We used to go up to that, and there's some other like waterfalls and stuff, man. It's so refreshing.
Wow. All right, so we'll get towards we'll talk some ECU and try to steer away from the cold shower. But if you got a thought on cold shower or anything, drop it in the chat. We'll get to it over the next hour, live on YouTube, Facebook. So we'll start ECU baseball. This series is it's an important series because if ECU doesn't turn around now, it's going to be too late before too long here. Now Charlotte, looking at their numbers, man, they hit for some power. They've hit 38 home runs. They have 4 players with 5 or more home runs and 6 players with 4 or more home runs. Cody Gunderson is hitting 400 with 6 bombs and an OPS of 1.184, which is ridiculous. They have Campbell transferred Chandler Riley. They got some pop. Pitching, we should again see a very good pitching matchup tonight. The only pitching matchup, guys, that has been announced for this whole series is the Friday night game. Saturday is TBA versus TBA, and Sunday is TBA versus TBA. So TBA going to be a little sore come Monday. But Blake Gillespie, Georgia transfer, threw a no-hitter the same day that Ethan Norby struck out 19. On the season, he has struck out 67 against 10 walks in 49.2 innings. He has gone 8 innings or more on 3 occasions. So, we said last week would be a pitching duel, and it didn't really turn out to be one between Trey Beard of FAU and Norby. So we'll see if tonight turns out any better. But could be a lower scoring game tonight, depending on how it plays out, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, last week I had kind of mentioned it and hoping I wasn't speaking it into existence.
Right.
The way baseball works, Ethan Norby was due for an off day and an off night, and he kind of had that in a way. And this is going to be another big, like you said, Friday night matchup. Thing that concerns me the most is Gillespie's strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah.
Because a big proponent or a big key for our offense is working the counts, getting free bases, and it seems like he just attacks his own.
He doesn't walk a lot of guys.
So we're going to have to put bat to ball, and that's where I have a little bit of concern in that matchup from Gillespie versus our hitters.
Yeah, looking at his numbers, he has struck out 9, 11, 13, 7, and 11 over his last 5 starts. So a lot of Ks. Now, he, like Norby, has never pitched this much in the season. So you do wonder, and he really hasn't had he's had one bad start against UNCW. He gave up 6 runs in 4 innings, 9 hits, but still struck out 7. So I don't know, Philip. I am excited about, A, seeing Truist Field in person, and B, seeing this pitching matchup because obviously the Pirates are struggling right now, but still a lot of intrigue, I think, heading into tonight's game.
There is, and one of the things that you got to do tonight, and this is not just on the staff, this is on the defense, especially the infield, is not give up the free 90s. Because you mentioned they've got a lot of pop, and this is a ballpark that is definitely designed for wood bats. Full disclosure, and I can't remember if I admitted this on yesterday's show here on Patrick's show. I've never seen a weekend college baseball game in this ballpark. I've only seen midweeks, so that does have a little bit to do with it. But the ball does jump off the bat in this ballpark when you're playing with a metal bat. So this team can rake. But the good thing is, though, Norby's you got to have on the mound for that. A, he's not going to give up the free 90s himself. B, if he does let up a solo shot, you don't have to worry about him going out there feeling sorry for himself and trying to pitch around the next guy. He's really mature on the mound. Both guys are. This should be a tough, it's a good game. Also, quick question. I don't know if any of you guys know this. I was just thinking about it. Is this kid related at all to the Gillespie Connor, the pitcher for the Marlins? Now that I've become a weird closet Marlins fan due to McCullough, I've been watching their games, and I noticed there was a guy.
Good question. It doesn't – in his bio, it just says son of Sean and Amy, one sister, Libby, and one brother, Nolan. Father, Sean, played baseball at Kent State and then independent professional leagues.
Gotcha. So probably not.
So
all right.
Doesn't
that was an irrelevant point then. I'm sorry.
So we'll see. Looking at Charlotte, they – much like ECU, have a reliever or two that they really rely on. Joseph Taylor has 5 saves. He's made 13 appearances. They have a reliever also by the name of Tanner Kaler, who's got a pair of saves. So they just like a solid baseball team. I think this is a pretty even matchup. We'll see. I think there'll be a lot of Pirate fans there talking with people. And right now, it's just – I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very tough to sweep. Certainly, ECU just hoping to win the series right now. I don't know, Bobby. Where are you at on the baseball front? Because I know you've been trying to get more into it this year, but it's been a tough season.
Yeah, it has been a really frustrating season. I think, the first month and a half, there was a lot of grace there, and that it's a young team learning and developing, and we're still seeing signs of that young team. I think it was mentioned yesterday in the interview with Dylan Johnson that they just never have really put it together yet. There's been glimpses of, the bats being hot, but then the pitching and defense lack. Moments of the pitching being excellent, a la Ethan Norby, but then the bats are cold or the defense isn't supporting. And to me, that's just a sign of a mediocre baseball team at this point in the season. It pains me to say that. I still have hope, I guess, that they can turn it around when it matters most as we creep upon the end of the season into tournament play. But they're at a point now, based upon their RPI, I mean, they have to win the tournament to get into a regional. And, it does make me question. I know there's a lot of season left to play. I know it's a big hot topic talking point in the sense of the portal and Cliff's philosophy there. And, I've always been one in support of that. And my thing is you see these young guys are talented. They're just inexperienced. My concern with this philosophy is kind of what happened with Bristol Carter and that sort of deal is you develop some of these young guys and then, you think you're getting the right mentality and the right mindset when they come to campus, but when an actual dollar figure is placed in front of their face, that's a completely different ballgame, and it changes that. And I don't think anybody really expects it until they see that dollar sign in front of them with the opportunity to jump somewhere else. So I guess that's a long way of saying I'm hopeful, but not confident it's going to turn around, and I think this team is what it is at this point in time.
East Carolina currently 98th in their RPI, well outside of at-large range. Charlotte is 88th. ECU, if they win today, looking at the RPI math, they would gain 47 points. You could jump from, let's say, 98 into the upper 80s, just looking at some of the math.
This counts as a road game, right?
Yep. True road game. And so, you win 2 out of 3, you're going to move up a decent chunk in the RPI just with it being a top 100 team on the road, quad 2 opportunity. But Pirates got to go out, take care of business, and right now they just got to get back to playing good baseball, as Cliff Godwin said. I tell you what, let's go ahead and get a break in. Again, I want to give a shout-out to Basil's Restaurant and Pizzeria, 1675 East Fire Tower Road, sponsoring the show today, allowing us to have Bobby on. And as always, you can get their salads, pasta, pizza. They have it all at Basil's, so check them out for lunch or dinner. Also a great place for some cocktails as well. Outdoor seating available on some nice spring and summer days on the horizon as well. We'll get a break in. We'll come back. This is Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors.
matey!
Back to the show with Steve and I go on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back in. Hoist the colors on a Friday. Free-for-all Friday in many ways. A lot of sports to discuss. We can get into whatever you guys want to. Hunter's got a question about the Orioles. Hunter will ask that in our MLB segment next. So stay tuned for that. The Masters are ongoing, and I know Philip is paying attention, obviously. Bobby, where do you come down on Masters and golf when it comes to big events like this?
Yeah, within probably the last year and a half or so, I've been getting more and more into golf to where kind of like Sunday afternoons when there's no NFL on, I try to have at least watch some of the golf, some of the NASCAR race, just to get a little idea and feel for it. My brother and dad were actually at the Masters on Wednesday, so my brother won the lottery.
Oh, nice.
And they got to go down for, the par 3 tournament and that whole deal. So it was cool talking to them and been a little bit more interested since they got to experience it and go down there. So I've been had it on all day yesterday, had it on this morning. Kind of ESPN Plus has those streams for like the featured groups and the holes 4, 5, and 6. So I've been watching that. I don't own anything Masters related, so this is the closest golf hat I have. So that's why I wore that today. But to me, I mean, this is like the Super Bowl of golf. So it's always interesting and entertaining to watch, and you can do nothing but really appreciate the skill level of these guys, especially when I try to go out to like Ironwood and just suck it up.
Yeah, I saw the Nick Dunlap shot at plus 18 yesterday, but still, like I don't think any of us could shoot that.
I'd shoot plus 18 on probably the first like 6 holes.
So he got roasted, but I mean he still participated in the Masters, and hey, everybody has a bad day. As we sit here at 12:19 p.m. Eastern on this Friday, Justin Rose leading the way, 9 under. Bryson DeChambeau in second place, 6 under. And you have several who are 4 under, 3 under. Obviously, Roy McIlroy, 1 under currently, going for the Grand Slam. So, anybody you're pulling for, Bobby, or is it just you just enjoy watching?
I like Bryson DeChambeau. Yeah. I know that's a hot take for golfers because he's part of the Live Tour or whatnot, but I've always enjoyed him. I'm a big Scotty Scheffler fan ever since he's been arrested in that kind of funny incident. And obviously he's just really hot right now. I'm not going to pronounce his name right, but the other guy I really like is I believe he's Swedish.
Ludwig.
Yeah, that's the other guy I enjoy watching.
Oberg.
Yeah, Oberg.
He is currently 3 under. What about you, Philip? Are you pulling for anybody heavily?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to see Rory get the career Grand Slam. Obviously, Phil's not doing anything, so out of contention there with lefty. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's a handful of guys I could bore everybody with it, but I would like to see Rory do it finally. Even though I've been saying all week, or last couple weeks, that's Vegas baiting people into helping them build another hotel that he's the second highest favorite going in.
Right, there's no doubt. Vegas always knows, man. They always win. So it's I've been trying to figure out, do I want to actually lay money on this so I could be more invested? But at the end of the day, I'd just be wasting my money. So I'm just going to, unless I feel really strongly about something, I'm going to stay away. I'll just keep betting MLB first inning, no runs.
Yeah, we should have done a Masters draft on this show. We did it on Patrick's show with me, him, and Brian Mull, and that. Obviously, all three of us are going to watch anyways, but just kind of the same reason it's given us more reason to watch random college football games that you pick or NFL games. Maybe we do that next year.
You got any money on the Masters?
Dude, I still have not placed a bet since the Commanders-Lions divisional playoff game.
Did you place a bet all of March Madness?
I didn't place one bet all of March Madness.
No one can ever call Bobby Harwood a degenerate.
Just working on I'm working on myself right now. Cold showers.
No bets. Cold
no
showers.
betting. I don't know, man. I've thought of putting a bet in. I don't know if DraftKings is still doing it. They used to do the up 2 bets for baseball. Do they still have those?
I haven't seen them this year, honestly, but I like those. They've been doing this year. It's more they're giving you a free, basically up to $5 bonus bet to bet on any MLB player to hit a home run, and you get the money back. So I've been doing that. I've hit it a couple times. What's his name? Used to be on the Guardians. Josh Naylor hit him the other day at plus 600. Did a home run, so that was good.
And then he rocked the baby as he ran the bases.
Typical Josh Naylor. All right, speaking of other sports, spring football, guys. ECU scheduled to hold its first official scrimmage inside Dowdy-Ficklin tonight. We'll have coverage, obviously, 94.3 The Game, Hoist the Colors as well. And, we'll see what we can report. Spring ball is getting a little bit, I don't know, more funny. I'm getting reports that ECU, and I posted this on our site yesterday, teams are basically trying to scout and lure players into the portal based off practice highlights now. This is spring practice highlights. You've got personnel from other coaching staffs, support staffs, watching practice highlights saying, hey, that kid looks good. Let me try to recruit him in the portal. And so now, it's not ECU's fault. It's not the media's fault. We're just doing our jobs as specified, and it just stinks that if you're ECU, you can't hold a regular spring practice without worrying about this crap, Bobby. I mean, it's just we'll get into what else is going on with spring practice right now with the player stepping out of practice for more money, but it's just the sport is broken.
It's very broken, and until somebody steps up and lays some ground rules, unfortunately, I think it's going to continue that way. You mentioned that highlight clip causing that, and you're doing your job, the team's doing their job. What that thinks to me is the team that's trying to recruit that individual did not do their job in the spring. And so now they're scrambling and trying to find every avenue possible. I mean, with the guy holding out, that's just a whole different ball game. We've already heard mention and talk of maybe because so many teams are pausing their spring game, not doing their spring game, switching it because of all this portal recruiting, which needs to stop, that it may turn into more of an NFL format. Well, we're getting an NFL-like holdout right now, and it's really just unbelievable it's gotten to this point. It's sad that nobody has stepped up to this point. I mean, especially at football-heavy places, and a place like ECU, that spring game weekend is an event, and people come in from out of town and enjoy it. And you see it at these big SEC schools too that are so passionate about football, just like ECU, and they're pausing their spring games. And for some fans who can't afford to go to a regular season game, that's their chance to go to the stadium and watch an actual game-like atmosphere.
And it's early in the day. It's not long, so it's a great event to take your kids to or family and have a lot of fun. And, they make money off the barbecue plates, or at least, make some break even, raise interest for the program. So, that's the thing. If you're the ECU football account and you're tweeting out a highlight, like, that's your job. It's great buzz and excitement. Like, it's sad that you can't even do that, or we can't even do some video. So, again, going off that, today, Pete Thamel of ESPN reporting that Tennessee quarterback Nico – do we know the last name pronunciation, Philip?
Nope.
Nico, their starting quarterback, is what we'll call him, did not attend Tennessee spring practice today. He's been in conversations with Tennessee about a new contract. The no-show of practice came as a surprise. And then On3 is reporting that basically Nico is trying to get – he wanted his NIL deal in the winter up to $4 million per year. He originally signed an $8 million deal total for his first 3 years. Pete Nakos of On3 says, as we reported yesterday, multiple sources close to the situation indicated that Nico's current contract is somewhere between $2.2 to $2.5 million. Now he wants $4 million.
So let me get this right. You originally signed a 3-year deal for $8 million. You
Correct.
signed it. You agreed to it. Put your signature on it. But now that you played well as a freshman, you want to change the terms.
That is 100% true.
It's crazy.
And he was good last year, and he was the top recruit out of high school. And I guess he's trying to say all these other NFL or all these other college football starters are making this much money now. I want this much money. But he was good last year, but he wasn't like a Heisman candidate or anything. So right. I don't know. It's just. I
guess you got the revenue share, which then increases the pot as well, which may be behind his thinking there too. But still, the fact that he is making so much more than we make in our everyday jobs, and he's a college student, not even a professional yet. If you're a professional, it's a completely different ball game. Those guys should be paid like this, but student athletes, that's nuts.
Imagine. And that's the thing. He's already making $2.5 million. Imagine making $700,000 at our daily job, and we're going to hold out and ask for $1 million.
Right.
It's just come on, man. Philip, do you have a take on this?
Well, first off, it comes down from where they're learning this crap, and that's what it is crap. Yeah. Bobby's point, you sign a contract, you need to uphold your end. Well, who's not doing it? The NFL. Who's not holding them accountable? Roger Goodell. Look, I've been saying there's an easy fix to this for a while. Practice, a little different, but they just need to create bylaws. They need to put it in the new collective bargaining agreement in the NFL. NCAA might be a little tougher to do it, where you get fined X amount of money for not showing up to practice. And then I think if you miss a game, especially in the NFL, right now it's, hey, I'm holding out, I miss a game, I lose that game check. I think it needs to flip where you owe the team whatever your game check was. So say, you're on a contract that pays you $8 million a year. We'll just pretend it's still a 16-game season. That's a $500,000 check. You don't only not receive it, you then have to turn around and write a check back to the team for $500,000. I think that's how they need to do it in the NFL. And the NFL starts doing it. We can start doing it in college. And as for not showing up to practice, hey, man, it's supposed to be a fine in the NFL. If we're going to pay these college guys, they should fine them too. The problem is the NCAA's got no backbone. They're just a bunch of jerks, and they're never going to do anything about it. This is stupid. And you know what? He needs to go to class, and he needs to go to practice, and he's quit being an arrogant, entitled little jerk.
I just saw UTSA starting running back Brandon High enter the portal. They're in the middle of spring ball. Ran for 500 yards, 5.3 yards per carry last year. App State just lost their starting tackle to the portal. So, you also have teams who are also recruiting guys to the portal. But these agents are a big part of the problem, and I don't know if they're whatever the official term is for these college student athletes now. I know for a fact during the college football season, they are reaching out. They're going through the Pro Football Focus numbers. They're going through the leading tacklers of teams, and they're reaching out saying, hey, I can get you in the portal, and I can get you $200,000 with an ACC school if you hop into the portal. And now these agents are getting 10% of the cut or whatever. So, they're doing it for their own benefit too. But that's a lot of the issue as well, is you've got these agents who are involved they're making backroom deals before the players even know about it. And then once you're once you get word, hey, I can go make $200,000 in the portal or whatever, I don't really blame the players. It's just a crappy situation all around. But that's a big part of the issue too, Bobby.
Whereas there's some sort of license that the agents have to get at the college level like they do in professional?
I would assume so, but honestly, I've seen like family friends reported as being involved a lot too. So I don't know what the official licensing you need is.
Yeah, it's just, man, it's so shady all the way around. I mean, agents tend to be slimy anyways, and even more so, it seems like at the college level. At a professional level, again, it's like an understood business across the board. And it's like Philip just said, until the NCAA gets some backbone, puts their foot down, really nothing's going to change. And, you see it too. I wonder how much control or how much agent switching we'll end up seeing as this kind of evolves. Because, I mean, you're looking at it now with the whole Scott Boras stuff with the MLB. You got more and more Scott Boras agents or representatives dropping him as his agent based upon how that's worked, because he's looking out for his best interest and not necessarily the best interest of the player. And they're starting to see that more and more with how the contracts are going in Major League Baseball. So you wonder if that kind of starts showing itself a little bit in the college game.
Yeah, like Cal Raleigh dropped him and then signed a long-term deal with the Mariners because he was just tired of Boras trying to get the most money possible. He just wanted a fair deal. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, look, not everybody is like Nico, and I don't know if Nico's getting bad advice from his agent or family friends. So, like, I'm not trying to say every player is like this. I mean, I know a lot of players on the ECU roster who just want to get paid a fair amount and then are fine. So, I mean, it's just like, it's just a crappy situation. And the other thing is, too, like, as we talked about, it's worse than pro sports now in that guys you basically have a year-to-year deal. Now, in Nico's case, he signed a multi-year contract, obviously, that he's not actually living up to. But it's just, you just don't know what you're going to get from year to year, whereas at least in professional sports, for the most part, when you sign a 3 to 5 year deal or whatever, the team knows what the cap space is. They know you're in for that, and yeah, it can be renegotiated if something crazy happens. But for the most part, you know where it sits, where the bulk of your roster sits from year to year, whereas in college, it's just complete free-for-all every year.
Well, and even if you sign the multi-year contract in college, like take this guy that Duke has at quarterback now from Tulane, supposedly 2-year, $8 million deal, $4 million per year. After this season, he says, hey, I want to hit the portal again. What's the consequence? Like, there's no, like, you just lose that extra $4 million and then you go get more elsewhere. In the NFL, they can't negotiate with other teams. So what's the consequence if they do negotiate with other teams? So to your point, that just reemphasizes, even though there's multi-year deals here, is there really any consequences if they aren't being upheld?
No, there's not. There's no consequences at all in any of this. I mean, that's why I said the NCAA needs to step up. But nowadays, you can't even punish players for doing stuff like holding out of practice the way you used to be punished. I mean, Bobby, speak to this. You didn't play football, you played baseball, but still, speak to this too. If I just randomly didn't show up to practice one day just because I didn't feel like it without some sort of text to the coach saying, hey, I'm sick, the next day I would run until I was sick. They would run me till I puked. And you know what I would do? I would sit there and I would take it, because I had respect for authority. But nowadays, if the Tennessee coach, who is it, Josh Heupel?
Yep.
Yeah, goes up to this Nico kid and says, go run 14 miles, and if your legs fall off and we have to resuscitate you, I don't care. The kid's just going to say, no, I'm not going to run. I'm going to sit here. Up yours, coach. That crap flies now because nobody's disciplining their kids. Now the NCAA is not disciplining anybody. The NFL's never disciplined anybody. So, I mean, what are we doing?
That's
a great question. Yeah.
What are we doing? What is society doing? What is college sports doing? I don't know. We will try to figure it out, although we apparently don't have the answers either. Let's get a break in. We'll talk about Major League Baseball on the other side. We got a question from Hunter. Also, we got some Pirates who are performing very well in the professional ranks. We'll talk about that as the MLB season continues. This is Hoist the Colors on a Friday.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first. And that's why we use Certainty shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is Certainteed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
The Pirates play here. Arr! This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Stephen Igo.
Yes! That was so good!
On 94.3, The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors on a Friday. We've talked ECU baseball. We've talked cold showers. And we've talked how broken college athletics are. And let's talk about some professional athletics. Again, if you got a question, drop it in the chat. We'll get to it. We'll touch on how ECU players are doing in MLB in a minute. But Hunter wants to know, Bobby Howard is an Orioles fan. He is rocking a sweet, is that a sweatshirt or a pullover? How would you define that?
Yeah, that is a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweatshirt, Baltimore Orioles. Hunter wants to know, as a fellow Orioles fan, I would like to get your thoughts, Bobby, on the Orioles and Brandon Hyde, who is their manager. He says the pitching injuries have been unfortunate, but it still feels like they have underperformed. Baltimore, for reference, is currently in last place, 5-8, 13 games out of a 162-game season, so a long way to go, but they have struggled a little bit out of the gate.
Long way to go, but the season's already over. No, I'm just I'm kidding.
You're about like I am with the Mariners.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes. Here's my thing. I know there's a lot of heat thrown Brandon Hyde's way, and he is the manager. Ultimately, though, really where my blame comes in all this is Mike Elias. I think there was a well-written piece in The Athletic 2 days ago, I believe, about, yes, they made a strong offer for Corbin Burns. I think it came out he was offered 4 years, $180 million by the Orioles, which would have been $45 per year, in the highest contract for a pitcher only, because that does not include Shohei since he bats, and his AAV would have been higher with all the deferred money and all that stuff. So they offered him a very respectable deal. He ended up signing 6 years, $210 million, so 2 more years and only $30 million more. But he gets to stay at his home state of Arizona. But the basis of the article was about how Elias never pivoted, because Phillips Red Sox also made an offer to Corbin Burnes. But they pivoted, traded for Garrett Crochet, and then they signed Walker Buehler. So they pivoted and signed 2 guys, whereas for us, our pivot was signing Charlie Morton and Sagano. Well, Charlie Morton's ERA is over 8 right now. Dean Kramer's ERA is over 8 right now. Like, he had to know going in, they did not do enough on the pitching front. I know they were trying to, I guess, resolve their pitching staff by just signing a bunch of just average guys towards the end of the career. But that was my fear going into the season. Our bats haven't been as great as I had expected at this point in time. Still 13 games in, still getting a feel for things after spring training. But the pitching staff was my concern, and what has been the issue so far this season? The pitching staff. Our only pitcher that had an ERA under 4 is now hurt, in Zach Eflin. Like, Grayson Rodriguez, you're going to rely on that guy to be your ace. He's had 2 season-ending injuries the 2 previous years prior. He's had an injury every year of professional baseball, and you're going to rely on that guy to be your number one? So that's my thing. I know Elias did a lot to turn around this organization with the prospects and then the way he built up the minor league system, and kudos to that. But now my question comes to him after the last 2 years is, now show yourself to be a major league general manager. Make the major league team better. I mean, do what you can to hit your window now, because, yes, people want to say that you have these guys under contract, but these championship windows close like that. And if you don't strike when the iron's hot, you're going to miss your opportunity if you're playing around, not going and attacking for pitchers, high profile pitchers at that, when you have all these young, cheap position players.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean, look, me and you were both frustrated with our respective teams. The Mariners have one of the worst offenses in the league last year. I'm mad they didn't sign anybody for offense. What are they doing? They're hitting 200, third worst in the league, behind only the White Sox and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Big surprise, right? When you don't sign anybody to address a weakness. The Orioles struggled pitching. Don't sign anybody on the pitching front for the most part, and are struggling pitching. So, like, sometimes it's just that simple. And so you're laying the blame more at Elias than Brandon Hyde.
Yeah, I think so. At this point in time, I mean, I still hate all the platooning he does. He's a massive platoon guy. And especially with all the young talent that you have in the system, in these corner outfield spots, it does not give them the opportunity to get regular at-bats and get comfortable. So you can never see their true talent. Not only that, really these days, splits are not as drastic as they used to be. And then on top of that, you have a lot of these guys, specifically with the Orioles, that are reverse splits, but he's still playing to the original left-handed pitcher, right-handed bat type deal, when really a lot of our guys are reverse split guys and don't necessarily fit that bill, but he's platooning them there. So I get Hunter's question about Hyde from that aspect, and that's the confusing part to me. And then on top of that, Orioles Twitter puts this, Angels in the Outfield movie, which is fantastic, by the way. But they got a graphic they put out of infielders in the outfield, because Brandon Hyde tends to always put an infielder in the out. Like, I think there was one game this past week. We had Jorge Mateo playing center and Ryan O'Hearn playing right field.
How did that work out?
Not good. Gave up 2 errors.
Hunter says get rid of Mateo. He also says it also seems like Elias gets desperate to make moves around the trade deadline.
And then that's where you turn in and trading Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers for Cade Povich, who's just sitting, or not Cade Povich, Trevor Rogers, who's sitting in AAA because he stinks.
So there's your Orioles talk. Getting a long way to go, but discouraging start for the O's and my Mariners, so I'm not going to focus on them. The Braves, hey, they've got 3 wins now. So good for them. They still have the second fewest wins in the league. Can y'all name the other team with just 3 wins?
Rockies.
Can y'all name the only team with 2 wins?
Is it the White Sox?
It is. So pretty standard.
So they won their first game of the season and then 1 game after that. I saw they just promoted.
They've lost 8 in a row.
Greg Jones, the former Seahawks shortstop. Which, funny thing about the White Sox, 3 of their 4 minor league teams are in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Including the Charlotte Knights.
Including the
Will
Charlotte
be in their
Knights.
stadium tonight. Yeah, the Rockies have a minus 28 run differential.
It's been bad, dude.
That's terrible.
Part of it was they were down 10-2 going into the 9th the other night, and then still lost 17-2. So that one game against the Brewers had a lot to do with it. That one inning against the Brewers had a lot to do with it. But yeah, they're bad. I've watched most of their games. So this is backtracking, but I got a comment that I'm gonna read. All I'm gonna say is a text from a former ECU player that played prior to my lifetime. I'm not gonna give out names of the player or the coach, but said the punishment under the coach that he played for was just short of death if they would have held out of practice. Not saying maybe that coaches should take it that far these days, but I would rather that than
you
not
would like
bunch
some
of guys
in between.
Yeah.
It's the middle ground.
Zach Agnos is part of the Rockies organization, not quite at Major League level yet, but he has appeared in 4 games this year. He's got a 1.69 ERA, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 save already. So hopefully Zach gets the call here soon. Gavin Williams, guys, he got his first win of the season last night to have him on my fantasy team. He struck out 7, went 5 innings against, I believe, the White Sox, which is probably part of the reason why he was able to rack up some strikeouts. But good to see Gavin bounce back from a couple of okay starts. He's now struck out 14 against 6 walks in 13 innings. Jeff Hoffman, guys, has been great. He already has 3 saves, and he has a win as well. He's made 7 appearances. He has struck out 9 and walked 1. And I think he got the win over the Red Sox, right, Philip?
I think so. I know he had 1 appearance against the Sox where I think by the new standards it wasn't a save, but last year it would have been.
Did they switch the save rules?
I think so. I think they've gotten a little more tight on it. I'm pretty sure.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's he only had a 3-run lead.
I thought that still was a save.
Yeah, I thought that was a save.
Maybe it still is.
Because
somebody told me they switched up the rules. But either way, he had a really good shutdown outing against the Sox. He might have a win against them. I'm trying to find Blue Jays on here so I can look
another
it up.
potential Oriole, but he failed the physical, so they didn't sign him.
Yeah,
He's a pitcher. Who cares?
Him and the Braves, or the O's and the Braves, they just didn't like the medicals, but he's pitching. He looks good.
Yeah,
with the Blue Jays. I mean, he's still throwing the crap out of the ball.
Isn't that wild that Trey Savage had his first start in minor leagues here recently?
He did. He walked 6, I want to say, but struck out a healthy amount. Only gave up 1 hit, so command was an issue, but pitched well outside of that. So looking forward to seeing his rise. And
yes, his real quick, his win was against the Red Sox.
Okay. Dunedin is where he started, low A, and from what I understand, the high A is very cold, and I don't know if they want to have him up there, so he may skip
it gets
high
summer.
A. Yeah, at least if he fast tracks, he may go straight to double A, but he may go up in the summer, depending on how he progresses.
How close is Norby to being back? He's got to be soon, right? He was out. It's been, 4 weeks of the MLB season?
Connor Norby, trying to see if there's any update. Doesn't really look like it as far as news. Now, obliques with hitters,
they're
tend to linger at least a month. So, not seeing anything as far as an official update on him. Maybe May, I would think.
Okay.
But no official update. That's just me guessing based off past obliques. Sean Armstrong for the Rangers has pitched 5 times. He's gone 5 innings. He has a 1-0 record with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. So Sean Armstrong pitching well for the Rangers, who are off to a good start.
What do Burley's stats look like?
Alec Burleson, who plays for the St. Louis Cardinals, one of the most hated teams in Joe Sampson's pantheon of hated teams.
Of all teams to hate, the Cardinals.
It's just so random, man. 275, and he has yet to go deep this season. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. He has 3 doubles in 42 plate appearances. So he's sitting solid, but not. He hasn't gone into Burley mode yet, I would say.
Yeah. Is he playing mostly DH, or is he getting
DH
some first base
mostly,
looks?
Yeah. I want to say he's basically DH the entire time from what I'm seeing right now. Played a little bit of first base, I think. Am I missing anybody else?
Did we mention I know he's not a player, but manager. That Clayton McCullough is
Miami Marlins
6-6.
6-6, man. And they play the Nationals this weekend. It's a big series for third place in the NL East.
Did we mention Carson was or not? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I was about to look him up because obviously with the Giants has not made it into the league yet, but I know he had a good initial start. And the Giants are playing really well. They're just randomly good. 2 starts for Wiz and Hunt, 1-1 record, 1.69 ERA, 11 strikeouts. The biggest thing for Wiz, 0 walks.
There you go, Wiz.
When his command is there, man, he's really good. So there's your Pirates in the Pros update.
We're also missing Mike Trout, Logan O'Hoppe.
That's right.
And Mackenzie Gore.
Mackenzie Gore has been shoving.
Oh, my
guys.
goodness.
Dude, Mackenzie Gore has saved my fantasy baseball team. It's a keeper league. Funnest fantasy league, one of them I play. Yeah, I'm saying a word that's not a word. And I had Garrett Cole as one of my keepers, which I should have known was a mistake. I was hesitant keeping him, but I wanted an elite pitcher. Well, of course, Tommy John, he's out. Mackenzie Gore was on the free agent wire, and I picked him up right before his first start. He's been money this year.
Let's get a break in. When we come back, I'll have a trivia question regarding Mackenzie Gore as a possible answer. So we'll do that. We'll close the show with some of that. This is Hoist the Colors.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Here there be pirates. Back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and I go. How good is this? On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors, final segment here. Been a fun show. Let's close it with some trivia. Some baseball trivia. We're only a few games in, but I always love looking at baseball stats. By the way, shout out to Basil's for supporting the show today, bringing us Bobby Harwood. Again, check them out lunch or dinner over by the AMC movie theater. All right, guys, Major League Baseball. There are 4 pitchers tied for the league lead with 25 strikeouts at this point in the season. One of them we just talked about, which was
Mackenzie Gore.
Mackenzie Gore is one of those 4. The other 3 are starting pitchers. 2 of them play on the same NL East team. The other one plays in the AL West.
Zach Wheeler's one of them.
Zach Wheeler's one.
Okay, trying to think of another Phillies pitcher. Eflon's not there anymore, so it's got to be another.
It is a recently acquired new Phillies pitcher.
Luzardo?
Yep.
All right, you said NL West or AL West?
AL West.
Is it like Nate Eovaldi?
It is not Nate Eovaldi, but that's a good guess.
Same team?
No.
Okay, so because DeGrom was going to be my next guess.
Also a good guess. Think my favorite team.
Yeah,
I was about to say the fact that
I mean, y'all are loaded. You have like 3 or 4 options.
Yeah. It's Castillo.
It is not Castillo.
Bryce Miller.
It is not Bryce Miller.
Is it the dude you picked to win the Cy Young last year, and then he didn't win the Cy Young?
Did I pick George Kirby or Logan Gilbert?
Oh no, maybe it was
I think Joe picked Logan Gilbert.
Maybe he did.
It is Logan Gilbert.
Okay.
There is one pitcher who has thrown a complete game in Major League Baseball already. Who is it?
The fact that you know, is it a different Mariner?
It is not, but it is a name that you guys have already said.
Oh, go ahead, Phil.
DeGrom.
Nope. Same team, though.
Oh, Eovaldi.
Eovaldi. Nate Eovaldi, whose arm is still not falling off. All right, so yesterday when I asked you this question, we got about 20 seconds left. Aaron Judge and Tyler I can't even say his name. Siderstrom from the Athletics had hit 6 home runs, tied for the league lead. One other player has since joined that list at 6. He's a well-known home run hitter, I would say, who has joined that list. NL East.
Pete Alonso.
Good guess, but nope.
Marcell Ozuna.
It is not Marcell Ozuna. Phillies.
Okay.
Not Harper.
Schwarber?
Schwarber.
Okay, wow.
Kyle Schwarber is at 6 as well. All right, we got to get out of here. Bobby, appreciate you. Philip, appreciate you as always. We'll be back 12 noon on Monday to recap the weekend and look ahead to what's to come next in sports. See you then.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things ECU.